When an older adult falls and can't get up, a countdown timer starts. They have 60 minutes before them lying still on the floor causes their tissues to be destroyed and their muscles to start degrading. Now, if you're anything like me, before I researched this, I was mostly concerned with broken bones when it comes to falls. I mean, it can be pretty nasty if your parent takes a tumble, but if you let them lie there for too long, the consequences are much more dire. This is called a long lie, where an elder lays on the floor for a long time after a fall. In 1997, an organization named Velis did a study on long lies and found that 50% of the people that experienced a long lie in their old age died in the next 6 months. I don't say this to scare you. I say this because falls are really common, and so it's important that we be aware of the risks of falls beyond just fractures and breaks. Now, the good news is that with proper precautions, you can safely keep your parents in their home and not have to worry about this nearly as much. Let's talk about it. So why is laying on the floor so harmful? Simply put, the human body isn't designed to bear its own weight on a static surface for a long period of time. When your parent lies on the floor is kind of acting as a slow-motion tourniquet, cutting off circulation from the blood veins. Imagine stepping on a garden hose so that the water stops running. If you keep your foot there long enough, eventually the grass that it's watering is going to die. The floor is kind of working in the same way. Basically, if it's cutting off circulation and depriving the skin of oxygen for long enough, the tissue that it's supporting is eventually going to die. Lying on the floor also starts to destroy their muscles. Muscle cells are like millions of tiny little balloons filled with protein, which is great for keeping your strength, but it's really toxic for your body if those bubbles pop and the protein is released into the bloodstream. The weight of the floor starts to pop these balloons and release the toxic proteins into the bloodstream. Eventually, these toxins reach the kidneys, start to clog them, and stop the filtration system of the body, which is extremely harmful. The solution that most families opt for is a personal emergency response system. Think of the life alert commercials that you see on TV. The problem with these is that the data shows that in the cases where an elder is trapped on the floor for over an hour and has access to one of these systems, 97% of the time they don't press the button. I mean, that sounds crazy, right? Why would that possibly be? Well, in some cases, the fall knocks them unconscious. In other cases, maybe they're getting out of the shower and didn't have the necklace on them when they fell, or maybe they just don't like wearing it. Unfortunately, the saddest reality is that a lot of people will fall on the floor and lie there in agony for hours and choose not to press the button because they don't want to have a false alarm or to trouble anyone having to come and get them. So if the purse system is unreliable, what do you do instead? The better solution can't require the victim to participate in their own rescue because that's the unreliable part. So what I found is that the best way to protect your parent from the long lie is continuous passive environmental monitoring. This means installing smart sensors in your home that can detect when your parent falls, and then without your parent having to do anything, it will automatically send an alert to you, to a caregiver, or even to 911. There are a lot of great sensors out there that can do this for you, but because technology is always changing and because there are always upgrades coming out, it's a little bit hard to give you a finite recommendation for what you need for your specific situation. Instead, what I would suggest is that you start by looking at passive radar systems. These are really cool because they are sensors that you put in your house that don't have cameras. Instead, they use radar to track your parents as a cluster of dots. That's really cool because it means that you can put these sensors in risky places like showers and bedrooms and bathrooms without any sort of privacy concerns. Now, whatever system or whatever solution you go with, the important thing is that you are considering the risk of the long lie because, again, it is so dire and so important that you do. But that's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you could, please do me one big favor and share this video with a friend or a family member who might be needing it. It really helps out them, giving them good information. It makes you look like a hero, and it really helps out the channel and helps other people discover it so that they can protect their parents just like you're doing. I'm Ethan Carbo. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.